Hey guys, what's going on? So we're back again with another video. In today's video, what we are going to do is we're going to take a look at my top 3 movies for 2018. So I talked to you guys about the movies that I plan on going to see and do reviews over already. And if you haven't seen that video, go check that out. I'll try and put a link in the description if I can remember. But for this video, what I wanted to do is, so out of those 7 movies that I talked about, I want to take 3 movies that I think are going to be the top ones and that I'm really looking forward to watching, and I'm going to kind of break them down a little bit, talk about what I'm looking forward to, what I think might be some concerns, and so yeah, that'll basically be the video. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to talk about the one I'm looking forward to the most will be last, so my number 1 spot, and then so I'll start with number 3, 2, and then 1. Should have done that backwards, but you get the idea. So, slotted in at number 3 for me is I have Black Panther, and the reason I chose this one at number 3 is because I really liked what we saw from Black Panther in Captain America Civil War. I thought they did a good job with his character, and it kind of gave me a lot of intrigue with his character. So once I found out that they had a movie coming out for him, that just kind of brought the intrigue to me a little bit more, just to find out more about this character, because I personally do not know a lot about Black Panther. So with this movie, what I'm expecting and hoping is that they give us a good background story about Black Panther, where he came from, all that. But then I also want the action scenes in it too. I don't want it to be just based on action or just based on his background. I want a good mix in between. Now, my concerns for this movie is that I've already seen the trailer, and it looks like they're going very heavy on the action scenes, so that kind of scares me a little bit. But I'm still wanting to learn more about this character, so I'm gonna go see the movie, and I just hope that they have a good balance between the background and the action and not too much on either end. For the number 2 movie that I have Venom, which comes out in October. So I chose Venom because I've seen the original Spider-Man movies, and once Venom was introduced in that 3rd movie, I really liked the character. I wish they would have done more with him in that movie, but overall, they kind of, got a little bit of a basis for the Venom character. Now, with that, I just hope that with this movie, they do a good job of creating a little bit more, because in the Spider-Man, the 3rd Spider-Man movie, they didn't give a lot of a story to the Venom character. They just kind of picked a guy, threw the stuff on him, and then boom, he became Venom. In this one, I kind of want to see a little bit more of a story. Not necessarily a background of Venom, but, just more of a story, get like a really good focus on the Venom character, and get those action scenes and all that, because it's supposed to be a superhero villain movie, whatever you want to call it. And another thing that I'm hoping for in this movie is that we get an appearance by Spider-Man. Now, he doesn't necessarily need to be in any action scenes or anything like that. Don't want to draw the attention away from Venom, because this is specifically on Venom. But I would like to, just get a little bit of a scene with Spider-Man to maybe give something for the future. I'll talk about that in a second. But before I talk about that, I want to go into some concerns. So with my concerns of this movie, it's that they don't make Venom look strong enough, because they didn't make him look incredibly strong in the 3rd Spider-Man movie. So my concern is that they do that again, but I'm still really looking forward to it, and I hope that they make him look a lot stronger than what they did. And then my second concern was that there isn't enough of a story, which I've already touched base on that, so I'm not going to talk about that again. Now, going back to what I said about Spider-Man, I want them to have a little scene with Spider-Man to go to the future. And in the future, what I want to see is I want to see Venom in a Spider-Man movie, whether that's Spider-Man Homecoming 2, I think that's what they're calling it, I'm not quite sure. Whatever the next one's going to be called, maybe getting Venom in there, or in a different Spider-Man film, just getting him into a Spider-Man film. I think that would be a really cool thing that they would do with it. And finally, in my number one spot, we have probably what you all could guess once you saw this video. Avengers Infinity War is slotted at number one for me. And now, the reasoning I picked in Avengers Infinity War is I love what has been done with the Avengers series, with Hulk, with Thor, with Captain America, Iron Man, so on and so forth. You get the idea. They've done really good with all of their movies, and I'm expecting this one to be a great movie as well. First, what I want to do, though, is I want to touch base on some of my concerns, and then I'll go into my hopes, because I want to end it on the positive, but I want to start with the negative. Alright, so getting into the concerns, my first concern is that there are so many superheroes villains that we've seen from the trailer, and what I'm afraid of is that with all of these superheroes and villains that we're seeing, is that it will give too much. Now, I know it's going to be a two-part movie, I get that, but I don't want it to be where there's too much action and, you know, just trying to throw all these guys together and there's not, like, much of a story that's easily followed, but more of just, like, complete chaos. I want it to be a story, you know, and they just make it a well-rounded movie with the incorporation of the action, but also getting involved with, you know, bringing each person in, each superhero and villain in with reasoning and not just, oh, here's this guy, you know, and then have a clash, whatever. I want it to be a nice, well-rounded movie. And again, with that, I don't want it to be where they do too much in this one and not enough in part two. I want them to be both equal in the amount of action and everything. I don't want this one to be like really good and then the next one weaker because they already introduced all the superheroes and all that in this one, and then they only introduce like 4 or 5 in the next. You know, I want it to be both well-rounded movies, and you know, you can already expect it to be very action-packed, but I want them to be not too much in one or the other. So that's just a little bit of my concern. I know I kind of repeated that a little bit, but I just kind of want to stress that a little bit. Now, going on to my hopes for it. I hope that they do a really good job with bringing everybody together. So, you know, say you have guys in separate parts. So, like, you have the Guardians of the Galaxy, you've got, you know, Thor, Iron Man, all those guys. They kind of bring them together in an interesting way. Like, maybe they even have, like, a little fight or something. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. It would be a little bit interesting if they did it that way. But just have, like, a smooth way to bring everybody together that makes sense, and then base the movie off of that. So that's just kind of all of my hopes for that movie. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was my top 3 movies that I'm going to see in 2018. I hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Foa Moa. I will see you guys later.